Doesn't look like there's going to be any Jojo airing this. What's that? Those piano keys.
Nani?
Dun, 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 dun,
This was part of my plan all along.
Welcome to the Protagonist seat. I am Alex. That is Ian. And
Yes,
if you've
I
been...
am. Yes, I am.
If you've been following us, you know that we have been watching all of JoJo Part 5 since this show started.
Yes.
This is actually the show we've had going on since the beginning.
Yeah, it's weird to have a season without it. We have more seasons with JoJo than we do without JoJo.
Yeah, next season is our 1-year anniversary. And yeah, no more JoJo. Until Part 6.
JoJo's dead forever.
It's gone. Part 6 never.
We killed JoJo. We killed the franchise.
We killed JoJo.
But Part 5 was real good.
Part 5 was great, and because it aired separate from the rest of the season, and because it's been with us since the beginning, we decided to give it its own special little episode as a send-off.
It deserves a special Protagonist seat spotlight.
Yeah, so... Part 5. You know what? Think about it this way. You go to high school with Giorno Giovanna. He leaves for a week and he comes back and he's a gang lord.
You know what?
Because Part 5, I think it takes place just over the course of a week.
Yeah, it moves pretty quick. But that's on par with JoJo. Because, I mean, Jotaro leaves his high school for, like, fucking a month or so, and then goes to Egypt and fights
a vampire. But to summarize what happened in the last 2 episodes that they air, it's done. Golden Experience Requiem has absolutely wrecked Diavolo.
And Diavolo gets, as we both agree, the worst punishment of all the JoJo villains.
It's one of the worst punishments of, like, most villains in fiction.
Yeah. Basically.
You thought Cars had it bad. Oh, no. At least Cars gets to stop thinking.
Yes. Diavolo does not, ever. Essentially, he is trapped, living different deaths for all eternity.
Yeah, it's like, hey, sold drugs to kids, get ready to die all eternity, every single death, and feel it. He feels his own autopsy. He feels getting hit by a car. He feels being stabbed to death by just a hobo. Shit is crazy. Yeah, you know what? Way to make me pity the villain at the end, because I feel bad for him.
Yeah, that's horrible. That is horrible.
That's unfair.
That is the worst punishment ever.
Like, Dio was way more evil, and he gets off just being, like, punched.
Yeah, Dio gets punched into death. Cars kills a lot of people, but you know what? His brain gets to fade away. He gets to stop thinking in space.
And Kira actually gets the piece of being dead.
Yeah. Diavolo does not get that.
Yeah.
No.
And, everyone, Trish and Mista are all like, yeah, we won, hurrah! And they're like, hey, Giorno, let's go back to the Coliseum to see Bruno. And he's like, yeah, you guys go on ahead.
You guys go on ahead.
Because he knows they're going to find out the sad truth.
Bruno is no more. He is a golden boy in the clouds.
And I guess Polnareff is just going to stay a ghost sitting inside the turtle.
Probably.
Yeah, because he shows up at the end too. So Polnareff is dead and he has no body to return to, but he can stay inside the turtle. So he can control the turtle, and if not, he can just stay as, like, you know, in the key. So if, like, Giorno ever goes inside the key, he can, like, talk with Polnareff there.
Yeah, and I like having Polnareff still be around because I like Polnareff.
Yeah, and he that's where that ends, and then the next episode we get to see it's a look into the past, where a stand user that before Giorno even joined the gang that Mista was sent to deal with, the guy with the stand
rolling stones.
Can you guess what he does?
It's a rock.
It's a doom rock.
Yeah, so Bruno is approached by a man whose daughter committed suicide holding a rock, and she was dating a sculptor, and he believes the sculptor must have done something. And Bruno's like, do you pay your taxes? He's like, yes. And he's like, well, then you're a law-abiding citizen. You shouldn't come and deal with someone like me. You should go to them.
Go to the police.
He's like, they've already ruled it a suicide, and I know my daughter would never do something like that. And he's like, please, Mr. Bucciarati.
And you know what? Bruno is moved. He's like, if the police were not moved by such a display as I have been moved by, then they're not going to do shit.
And of course, Bruno agrees to help because Bruno is perfect.
Yeah.
Bruno is my capo. I don't care if he's gone. Bruno is my capo.
Bruno will always be our capo. Official protag seat capo, Bruno.
Bruno.
So he sends Mista to go investigate it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he's
and Mista
a stand
starts
user.
seeing, like, rocks everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
He touches one, and he is instantly affected by it. So he starts seeing all these rocks, and he's like, guys, there's all these rocks, and I'm seeing them. Something's
And Fugo's
wrong.
like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Bruno is like, well, you know what? It sounds like a stand user. This dude's probably a fucking stand user.
Yeah, he's even like, yeah, Fugo, I'm going to go after Mista just to make sure he's okay. And as he's going into the building to interrogate the boyfriend, he sees the guy and the rock, and he's like, whoa, and he starts shooting at the rock, and the rock reveals a dead Bruno.
Yeah. Bruno is the target of the stand user. The doom and the gloom.
But the dude, he starts interrogating him and starts beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, I literally can't control my stand. It's just fate.
Yep.
He's like, if you appear on the stone, it means you're going to die. And if you touch the stone, you'll die.
Yeah, which is a little weird because Mista does not die.
No, if you're on the stone and you touch it, you die.
Oh,
So if
okay.
Bruno touches it, he dies.
Okay.
And he's like, he explains his girlfriend saw that she was going to die of the same disease that her dad has, but if she died and gave her organs to her dad, he would be able to live longer. So that's why she killed herself. She
Yep.
did it to help her father.
It's sad and it's macabre, but you know what?
And apparently it only gets worse if you resist the stone, so she embraced the stone, so by doing that she actually helped out her dad. And for Mista, he's like, no, I'm not gonna let that, how can I like save Bruno? He's like, I mean, you could try to destroy it, but that's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So Mista makes a mad dash to basically destroy the stone and keep Bruno away from it.
Yeah, and, well, we know how that whole thing turns out.
He ends up destroying the stone, and he's like, all right, we're all good. Come on, let's head out of here.
But we're not.
And at the end that he's walking away from the stone, and you see, instead of just Bruno, now it includes Narancia and Abacchio. By resisting it, you make it worse.
Yep. So essentially, Mista made it worse for everybody.
The reason Abacchio and Narancia die is because Mista.
Yeah. So good job, Mista. You did it. You
At
killed...
least he'll never know.
Of course. Yeah. Shit.
And then the final scene of part 6 is in this nice kind of like mansion looking area. It looks like all the members of Pashon, all the leaders, are going to kiss the hand of the new boss, who is Giorno Giovanna.
Trish.
Yeah, no, not Trish. It's
I
Giorno.
had to cough, so my timing was off.
Yeah, you cough a lot.
Yeah, it's what happens when you get sick.
No, but you cough even when you're not sick.
I clear my throat when I'm not sick. I get all mucusy.
You got a mucusy throat.
It's what happens when you talk a lot.
And yep, it's their new boss, Giorno Giovanna, the gang star.
He's achieved what he has set out to do.
And Mista is his right-hand man, and he also has the turtle there with Polnareff to assist him. And it's all these guys coming to kiss his hand and, like, suck up to him because he's the new boss. And they keep the same clothes. They just change their color palettes. Instead of pink, Giorno now wears black, and Mista now wears, like, purple.
Yeah. Because everyone knows that you dye your clothes when you become a gang star. That's how you denote status, by not buying new ones, but by dyeing the ones you have.
Yeah. Or, yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah.
Even Mista, he has the same, like, beanie on, just a different color.
It's probably because they were like, we could redraw these characters, or
palette swap.
Just palette swap them.
Yeah. And that's the end of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 5, Golden Wind.
With a strange palette swap. And a turtle.
And there's no cliffhanger or teaser for Part 6, but you know it's coming.
Yeah, I think that's... I like not having the cliffhangers, because I'm kind of sick of cliffhangers after Marvel.
Well, they did all, like, in Part 1, 2, and 3, they kind of, like, teased the next part coming.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of Part 2, you see them, like... They're like, hey, we just, like, dug... Like, it says, like, oh, it's the middle of the Atlantic, and, hey, we just found a 100-year-old treasure chest. Come on, let's open it up. And it says on it, Dio
Barando.
And then it cuts to Jotaro in the jail cell, and it's like menacing.
Yeah. But everyone knows Part 6 is coming.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I am excited for Jolene.
Me too. I want to see how they do it, and I hope they do it good.
Because you know what? Part 5 was awesome. I actually feel like I can't imagine, like, reading it is better than it was watching it, because it was a real joy to watch.
It was so much fun. Like, seeing everything in motion was really good, and everything is so well animated. And there's also a couple scenes that I feel like really shine in motion, like vocal percussion coming from my mind. Yeah, watching a torture dance party. That definitely comes alive in motion.
I think I liked every fight besides the Clash, Talking Heads, and Babyface.
Yeah, because Babyface is just... That fight relies on dumb gold experience.
Oh, and
bullshit.
I didn't like the boat one at the beginning, just because I'm like, even still, I'm like, what?
Oh,
you
yeah.
put a boat, you put a thing over the boat. It's weird.
He deflated a boat and put that boat over another boat.
Yeah,
that was pretty bullshit.
I didn't like that one.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
I liked almost all of La Squadra besides Babyface.
Yeah.
I did like his stand user because he was just a weirdo, like, Dil Molto.
That dude was great because he was super creepy and weird.
Malone, yeah.
Yeah, Post Malone.
No, this is pre-Malone.
Yeah, we got pre-Malone.
Before he went post.
All of the actual, like, members of La Squadra are great.
Yeah, I think La Squadra is probably, like, my favorite group of baddies so far.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Because I really liked Rosato.
Rosato is amazing.
I really liked Prosciutto and Pesci.
Pesci. Aniki.
Yeah, Prosciutto and Pesci, Rosato. I liked, I forget his name, but the White Album guy.
Yeah.
I liked his fight.
That's a cool fight.
I really liked Chocolat and, what was the other guy's name? The Gimp.
Yeah. He had Oasis.
Yeah, Oasis is stand user. Secco. I liked Chocolat and Secco as bad guys. I liked their stands. Those were cool fights.
As per usual with JoJo.
I feel like any Bruno fight was always good.
Bruno
and Mista had good fights.
They both... I loved a lot of the stand powers in this one, because I feel like having interesting stand powers that are clearly defined and something different can lead to good fights.
Yeah, because Golden Experience was just bullshit.
Poorly defined bullshit, and it didn't feel like it genuinely won anything.
Also, I didn't feel like the Diavolo stuff at the I feel like the Diavolo fight at the end wasn't actually that great. It was mostly just them all running around, everyone just panicking, and then Giorno hitting the insta-win button.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that any fight that relies on Giorno's stand was not good.
Yeah.
Because Giorno was smart, and sometimes, occasionally, he would figure something out.
The only Golden Experience fight I liked was versus Chocolat and Green Day.
Yeah.
Since we at least knew of all the things his power could do at that point. Like, oh, he turned the bullet into a bug.
Yeah.
And had crawl out of his brain. And then he just muda-muda-mu'd him.
Yeah, for
For
like 15 minutes.
And I did like I wasn't originally big on this opening theme song, but I did like the final one where it's like full like where like the 100 Diavolos and like the time loop thing, and how when Giorno looks over his shoulder it almost is like he looks like Dio.
Yeah.
When Dio was like, "You're watching me, aren't you, Joseph Joestar?"
Yeah. I think one of the fundamental rules of a good stand battle is having everyone's powers clearly defined. And even if we don't know their powers, when you do the fight, their powers are defined. So it's got rules. Good rules make good fights.
I think one of my favorite stands was Metallica.
Metallica is great.
Because I'm like, dude, that's an insta-win. Just turn everyone's blood into razor blades.
Yeah.
Don't slow kill him with jaundice.
I did think that was a little fucked up. Metallica's really awesome.
I would like Oasis if it didn't have to be a gimp suit.
Yeah.
Because swimming through the ground would be pretty cool.
I feel like that's how I feel with most of the suits is like...
I would rather have White Album than...
Oh, definitely. Because White Album at least feels like a suit of power armor, whereas Oasis is a gimp suit.
Yeah.
Just flat out. Yeah. I really loved the Man in the Mirror. Just because I think that's...
And with the man in the mirror.
Exactly.
We can't do that much more after.
Yeah, I just think that's a cool power.
And that was cool. And that was the one time Fugo did anything.
Yeah.
We have one fucking fight with Purple Haze.
Yep, and then they realized it was too powerful, so he had to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like how Abakio used Moody Blues a lot, not for combat, for like utility. Like they had him fly the plane because he could just reset to the pilot.
Yeah. That's the thing. You got an ability that's...
And I really like Trish.
Trish was good. Trish came into her own halfway through.
Yeah.
Because like early half, she's like, protect me. But then you got the notorious big fight.
And now she'll be fine protecting herself because she has a stand.
Yeah, and she knows how to use it. And it doesn't have to auto-save her every time now.
Yeah.
I think that fight was interesting because you've got Trish and her stand is like actually talking to her and being like, listen, you gotta do this. You gotta follow my lead. Here's what you can do. We gotta do it. But interesting characters. That's the foundation of JoJo.
And I really liked how, I guess, Part 5 actually, or David Productions added more, like, a lot of scenes with La Squadra, like the church scene where they're kind of, like, mourning Sobert and Gelato.
Yeah.
That was, I think, added specifically by David Productions.
That was a good move.
And it actually really made the scene with, or the fight with Rosato really resonate because... you see him talk about how revenge is, like, foolish and how that will, like, But you can tell his comrades mean a lot to him, and that's why he loses, because he ignores his own principle and kind of wants to get revenge against the boss for his comrades, not for the money or anything anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's the last one left.
It was definitely a smart move, because it humanizes your villains.
Because the La Squadra was basically like a foil to the... Bruno's group where, hey, they're a group of buddies and pals, but instead they're scumbags.
Yeah, they're just big piece of shit assassins.
Yeah. They just want to control the drug trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. They ended up kind of having the same goals eventually, too. It's like, hey, we both want to kill the boss, but...
You know,
Yeah.
different reasons. You want to stop the drug trade, we want to control it. Own it from the inside out.
But yeah, now Giorno is the gang leader of Pashon, and there will be no drug dealing in this gang.
Yep, now Giorno...
This will be an honest gang that doesn't steal, cheat, lie.
This will be a real honest mob. We're only gonna do a little extortion and murder.
We're just basically a lending company now.
Yeah.
With some, like, strong arm tactics for getting it back.
We're a lending company, but don't get us wrong. We'll break your fucking legs. Part 5. I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss part 5 too.
Well, I suppose if you'd like to hear us talk about...
Yeah, we're talking about new anime.
Other anime.
Yeah. So check out the rest of the podcast, the ones with the episode numbers.
The one that's called The Protagonist Seat.
Yeah, we just shot episode 4 of this season.
We did.
You can also follow us on Twitter at Protagonist Seat.
Or on Facebook, The Protagonist Seat.
Yeah. So I called it like 20 minutes. I called it in the other video we shot.
Yeah, I kind of figured we would make that.
Yeah, and yeah, so stick with us, because you know when part 6 starts back up.
More Jojo.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
And we hope you will too.
Goodbye.
See you next time. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.